Good morning, Braydon. Hopefully today's the last day we have to do these videos and JoJo will be able to be over there, but I still got this cold and I don't want you guys to get sick. So, today the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do another homophones. Remember, a homophone is a word that sounds the same, but it's spelled different and it has different meanings. So today we're doing two. So there's three ways to spell two. There's T-O, which means I'm going to the store. Which direction to the skate park? Okay, so it's kind of directional and singular. Okay, then we have TWO, which is to the number. All right, so TWO is always just the number 2. And then we have TOO, and that's two as in more, like there are too many marbles on the floor. I want to go to, meaning I want to go also. Okay, so I want to go to the store would be TO, but I want to go to, meaning I want to go also, is TOO. All right, so we're going to do this worksheet here. So you're just going to write number 1. I'm going to read it, and you're going to read along with me, okay? And then you're going to write which 2 it is, all right? So number 1 is, I would like to go to Disneyland for my birthday. Is it TOO or TO? Okay, pause, write it down, and come back. Number 2, David has 2 dogs and a cat. Is it TWO or TO? Pause and then come back. Number 3, they would like to go to the opera too. TOO or TWO? Pause. Be ready to wake up early tomorrow morning. TOO or TO? Pause. Number 5, who would like to go to the grocery store with me? TWO or TO? Number 6, I hear too much chattering in our classroom this morning. TOO or TO? Number 7, Carla placed her 2 mittens on the coffee table. TOO, TWO? Number 8, don't forget to put your homework in your backpack. TO, TWO? Number 9, there were 2 jackets left in the classroom yesterday. TOO or TWO? Number 10, Leon enjoys playing soccer too. TOO or TO? How did you do? Did you get it? So just remember, TWO is the number 2. When you write the number 2, TOO means too many, also, and TO is singular, like I want to go to the store. I want to go to the skate park. Right? So, finish up that worksheet, and then we are going to move on to fractions. This one's going to be pretty easy for you, all right? So we're going to look at our diagram, and this is a whole, right? Because we have 1, 2, 3. It's a whole circle, and we've got 4 pieces to the circle, but only 1 is colored. So that makes it a what? All right, so what that is, write your fraction on what that makes as a fraction. And then if you look over here, I've helped you out a little bit, so you can pick which one it is. Okay? I know you know it. I know you know it's 1/4. You're really good on the models. And then you're going to go and you're going to say, okay, what's my decimal? How do you write 1/4 or 1/4 in a decimal? And then on money, if I have a quarter, 4 quarters make what? A whole dollar, right? So if I have just 1/4 out of the dollar, how do I write it? It's called 25 cents, right? So how do I write that? All right? Then you're going to do that, and you're going to do it for all of these. So this one's a half. Whoops, I was meant to color that in. Just pretend that that's 1/2 is colored in, okay? I'm sorry. And then you have that one and that one, all right? So do your fraction worksheet and then come on back. All right, so we've been doing ABC order, and I know you've been doing really good with it. You know, you look at your alphabet and you see which one of your words start with the first letter, whether it's A, B, C, which one you're going to go through your alphabet, and there's D. All right, and that's the first letter of all those words. You've been doing that really, really well. So now the next step in alphabetizing things in order is now we have to look. So we know that if we have a word that has a B, and then we have another word that has a B, how do we figure out which one goes first? Well, then we have to go and we have to look at the second letter. So if we have ball and bat, just like this one, all right? So we have ball and bat. And they both start with B, right? So your first letter is a B. So now we have to look and say, okay, what's our second letter? So the second letter in ball is, right, A. And the second letter in bat is A. So now we have B-A and B-A. So what do we have to do now? Now we need to look at the third letter, the next letter in line. So our third letter in ball is what? An L, right? And our third letter in bat is a T. So now we look and say, okay, does L or T come first in the alphabet? So I've got it all up here for you so you can kind of look real quick. And then your third letter is your L and T, right? So the L comes before the T in the alphabet. So that makes ball first in ABC order before bat. Does that make sense? All right, let's try another one. Now we have a ball and a basket. So our first letter is what? B. And our second letter is what? A. So now we have to look at what do we have to look at next to try to figure out which one is alphabetically in order first? The next letter, right? So we have B-A-L, and then we have B-A-S. So our third letter is an L, and then an S in basket. So you need to look at your alphabet and you say, does L or S come first? Well, we know that L comes before S, so that makes ball first in our ABC order. Does that make sense? Starting to make a little bit of sense to you? Let's try another one. All right, we're going to go to a donkey and a door, all right? So our first letter is what? A D. And our second letter is what? An O. So that means we need to look at our next letter, our third letter, and what do we have? In door, we have an O, and in donkey, we have an N. So then we look at the alphabet and we say, okay, well, does O or N come first? Well, we know that N comes before O, so that makes donkey first in our ABC order. Are you getting it? All right. We have a couple more. One more, okay? All right. So we have a plane and a plate. Our first letter is what? P. And our second letter is an L. PL in plane and a PL in plate. So now we need to look at our next letter. So we have PLA in plane, and we have PLA in plate. Oh, wow. What do we do now? Well, we go to our fourth letter. So we have PLAN in plane and PLAT in plate. So then we look and say, okay, does N or T come first in the ABC? So we know that N comes before T in the alphabet, so that makes plane first in our ABC order. Right? I know you got this. So now you're going to have this sheet here that I attached for you, and you're going to do the same thing in the blocks, okay? So you can just put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, And then these ones go for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These ones are for 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And these are for 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Okay, so just do them on a blank sheet and just put your numbers. And these words go with this ones. These words go with 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These go with these, and these go with 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. So hit pause, get that done, and come on back. Okay, now we're going to read a little bit. You're going to pay. You read with me. Then I will read it one time for you to listen really well. And then you're going to answer the questions on the bottom. All right? Hold on. Let me get my sheet up so I can read. All right? All right. Johnny Cake. Once upon a time, there was an old man and an old woman and a little boy. One morning, the woman made a Johnny Cake and put it in the oven to bake. You watch the Johnny Cake while your father and I go out to work. But the little boy didn't watch it, and all of a sudden, the oven door popped open, and out of the oven jumped Johnny Cake. He went rolling and out into the road. The little boy ran after him and crying out to his father and mother, but Johnny Cake outran all three. Outran Johnny Cake, and he came to 2 ditch diggers, but he soon outstripped them also. On went he came to a bear, but he never stopped. Then he came to a wolf. The wolf set into a gallop after him, but no hope of overtaking him. On went he came to a fox. The fox said, I can't quite hear you. Won't you come a little closer? Johnny Cake went a little closer and screamed out, I have outrun an old man and an old woman and a little boy and 2 ditch diggers and a bear and a wolf, and I can outrun you too. Look, there's 2, T-O-O. Remember, that was our homophone this morning. You can, can you? Yelped the fox, and he snapped up the Johnny Cake in his sharp teeth and the twinkling of an eye. All right, so I'm going to read it. You're going to pay attention because you have questions to answer, okay? Right. So I'm going to read it one more time for you. Once upon a time, there was an old man and an old woman and a little boy. One morning, the woman made a Johnny Cake and put it in the oven to bake. You watch the Johnny Cake while your father and I go out to work. But the little boy didn't watch it, and all of a sudden the oven door popped open, and out of the oven jumped Johnny Cake. He went rolling and out into the road. The little boy ran after him and crying out to his father and mother, but Johnny Cake outran all 3 of them. On ran Johnny Cake, and he came to 2 ditch diggers, but he soon outstripped them also. On went he came to a bear, but he never stopped. Then he came to a wolf. The wolf set into a gallop after him, but no hope of overtaking him. On went he came to a fox. The fox said, I can't quite hear you. Won't you come a little closer? Johnny Cake went a little closer and screamed out, I have outrun an old man and an old woman and a little boy and 2 ditch diggers and a bear and a wolf, and I can outrun you too. You can you? Yelped the fox, and he snapped up the Johnny Cake in his sharp teeth and the twinkling of an eye. All right, so now you're going to write 1 through 5 on a blank piece of paper. All right, your first question is number 1. Pause it and then answer it and then come back. Number 1, what did the old woman ask the little boy? Number 2, what did happen when the little boy didn't watch it? Number 3, how many people and animals came in Johnny Cake's way? Number 4, how did the fox eat Johnny Cake? And number 5, if you will come across the Johnny Cake, what will you do? So number 5 is kind of for you to be creative. What would you do? This is for number 5. What would you do if Johnny Cake came towards you? So come up with something there and write that. So write your 5 answers and then come on back. And we have one more sheet on biomes, okay? All right, so now we're going to do biomes. We've gone through and you've watched your videos, and we're going to do a project when JoJo gets over there. You're going to actually make us a really fun poster board. But for today, just so you can kind of get started on it, you've got, this one didn't print real good, but if you look on the attachment I sent you on Google Classroom, yours is nice and clear. But this is a chart of your biomes, okay? So you've got your biomes up here. You've got temperature, precipitation. I got it upside down. What about that? All right, so we have temperature, precipitation, typical flora, which means your plants and trees and grasses, and then typical fauna, which is going to be your animals, all right? So you've got the type of biome over here. I'm backwards here. The type of biome here. And then you've got temperature, precipitation, which means your weather, like your rain. And then you've got your plants and trees and flowers. And then you've got your animals of what is in each one of these biomes. All right? And then what I want you to do is get a blank piece of paper. And you're going to make a little chart. You can use a ruler and make it a lot easier kind of to make your little blocks. But you want to make it kind of look like this. And then you want to write on the top, tundra, taiga, desert, deciduous forest, grassland, and rainforest, okay? And then you're going to mark 1 through 10. So you can make like this kind of chart on a plain piece of paper. So hit pause, make up your little chart. Maybe Peyton can help you if you need to. And then come on back and we'll do the next step. How'd your chart come along? All right. So now we've got this right here, and this is where your 1 through 10 come in, all right? So you're going to use your chart that's on your attachment for Google Classroom. You're going to use this as your reference, all right? Which means you're going to look at this to be able to figure out this so you can fill in your chart, all right? All right, so you're going to kind of keep this up on the board. And then you want this. So number 1 on here, I'm going to turn it around because I have to be able to read it, all right? So number 1, I didn't print it off. If you give me 1 second, I'm going to be right back. I'm hoping I still have it up here. So I can just read it off from the computer. I don't know if I'm going to get lucky or not. Okay, yep. All right, so I'll just read it off the computer, and you can watch on here. So number 1, very hot days and cool nights. So look at your chart and which ones, and go to your temperature because we're looking for hot days and cool nights. So go to your temperature and see which ones have hot days and cool nights. Once you've done that, then all you're going to do is take your number 1 and you just make an X under the ones that have very hot days and cool nights. All right? And then you're going to do the same thing for number 2. Your number 2 is trees with needle-shaped leaves grow. Trees with needle-shaped leaves, okay? So pretty much just trees with needles, like pine needles, fir trees. So which biomes have coniferous, which is going to be your pine needles and your ones with cones, okay? Number 3. Used as farmland. Which biome is good for raising things on a farm? Pretty much, I think they're talking more for crops. Number 4, hot and wet all year. So which biome is hot and wet all year? Now, it might be more than one, so don't just make an X on one. You got to look and see, okay, is the desert hot and wet? We know the desert doesn't get much rain, so we know that one's not it, right? And the tundra. We know the tundra's cold, right? Deciduous forests, they get rain and wet, but they're not hot all year, right? Rainforests are, right? All right. Permafrost. Which one of these biomes gets permafrost? Now, do you remember what permafrost is? Permafrost is when the ground never really thaws. So it stays frozen all year. The top part might get a little bit of thaw, but the ground itself stays frozen all year. Which one of these has a permafrost? And number 6 is maple and oak grow. What is maple and oak? Maple and oak are the trees with leaves that turn color in the fall, right? Which kind of biome has all those kind of leaves. It has leaves that turn color. So they're not pine cones, they're not pine needles, they're leaves. So which one of the forest is it, coniferous or deciduous, that have leaves that change? And let's see, cacti grow. Which biome has cacti, which is cactus? Which one has that? Spruce moose belt. I'm going to be honest, I don't know what a spruce moose belt is, so unless you do, don't worry about number 8, because I really don't know until I Google it and find out. And then we have wheat and corn grow. So what biome does wheat and corn grow in? And then number 10, no chance of frost. Which biome is so hot that it has no chance of frost? There might be more than one, remember? All right, so fill that in. And then all you have after that is your reading eggs for at least 30 minutes, all right? So if you have any questions, you call me, and I will help you through it. Otherwise, you have a wonderful day. And your JoJo loves you. Bye, buddy.